Seeing Manya in her Yugioh mode was super wholesome and adorable, as we got an episode that showcased our heroes working together to avoid Yugioh being captured, while also clearing a path for our main heroes to reach the commander of the Dueling fleet. More on those characters in a bit though. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Downton, and today we're talking all things episode 44 of the Yugioh Go Rush anime series. Another episode that did not showcase a duel, but was still really entertaining nevertheless. We got to see Manya shine with her creativity and coming up with a plan to confuse the enemy that was invading, making everyone dress up as Yugioh, and making them believe there were multiple Yugioh within the town, because all they had was a silhouette and a name. They didn't actually know what Yugioh looked like. Thus, this idea was buying our heroes a small amount of time to ensure the main three would reach the commander of the Dueling fleet. This episode really did want to showcase our past enemies coming together as friends, and the importance of teamwork. Seeing how they all thought reaching the commander and talking to him peacefully would be an impossible situation, but then together, when they work as a team, they achieved it. Now, the idea of working together with your past enemies turned friends is not a new concept within Go Rush or even Yugioh. We've seen this before countless times. However, this episode still gave us that great display, plus it gave us some great, wholesome cosplays that I really did appreciate. Heck, even seeing Chupataro drain the life out of the soldiers was awesome, and slightly terrifying. Now, ultimately, the plan didn't last long, despite Manya's cutest efforts. Like, her actions and charm were on point. And that little pink sword that she had really does scream out Bulgarian warrior. But why didn't they all have those? Some of our heroes dressed as Yugioh throughout this episode, though, did get captured, but they refused to give up any and all information, which again links to them being friends and the idea of teamwork. But could these captured friends be an issue in the next episode? Because we do have characters like Asaka, Mimi, the Roman bandits. They're currently all resisting these invaders. However, I can see a situation where they get overwhelmed eventually, and Ninshaw, the commander, could decide to add more pressure onto Yugioh during their duel, in order to test how trustworthy and strong Yugioh actually is. Because Mutua Town is getting overrun, we know that the Bulgarian soldiers inside the spaceship are captured, and with Yugioh's friends falling one by one because of the lack of numbers, things could get a bit dicey. Yugioh has stated that he wants to stop the conflict in Bulgaria, but in order to do that, he needs to pass through the Dueling system, which is a neutral zone. However, I can't see the opposing side to Bulgaria liking the Dueling letting a Bulgarian roam free throughout the neutral zone system. They could take umbrage with that. Yugioh and the crew are likely to attract a lot of enemies, so that in itself risks the lives and residents of the Dueling, which the fleet commander had a duty to basically protect those. So of course, Ninshaw needs to see what type of person Yugioh is. And that links back to not only a duel, but also testing whether or not Yugioh can live up to his words and his promises. So in short, Ninshaw needs to know that Yugioh can be trusted, Yugioh can handle himself, and if any enemies come his way, they're not going to be a threat to the Dueling's lives later on. As for Ninshaw, I really like his design. It's very cool, and it does give me slight Darksider vibes in appearance only. However, he does seem rather indecisive, as we see throughout this entire episode. Now, although I can't normally stand indecisive people, because, I work in customer service, and there's nothing worse than an indecisive customer when you've got more customers behind them, and they're at the front going, oh, do I want this? Oh, what do I want? Do I really want that? That is so irritating. But at the same time, I actually really do like the indecisive nature of Ninshaw. this whole system of aliens might also have that indecisive nature, and that would link back to them being a neutral zone within the war, not knowing which side to take because they can't decide to take the Bulgarian side, they can't decide to take the enemy side. Again, indecisiveness. Plus, I can't help feel that we're going to learn more about those planets that get mentioned at the start of this episode. The grass planet seems like another Ming-Chan-based episode, if I'm being honest. And while showing us the beautiful summer retreat planet, I can imagine the heroes relaxing on that while being tricked by some sort of illusion alien. And finally, I love mushrooms. So a planet that's full of them, sign me up. My last point on Ninshaw is the deck that he uses. It looks like we could be getting a coin-based deck, because in the preview they show a monster that does look like an Arcadia Force monster. But instead of it being a full Arcadia Force style themed deck, like we got with Utopia and Gohan Yuga, I can see this deck being more coin flipped based. But having monsters like Barrel Dragon or, second coin toss is like a trap card involved. Because this would fit into the character's theme and add that indecisive nature that he's already got with him. And just letting things plays out because we all have that theme of destiny as well appearing within the preview. Now lastly, we need to talk Earthdammar. Now Yugioh was smart in sending Mayuda to get the Earthdammar, as we know his abilities to entrance people with his soft-spoken words. So this means he should be very good at using manipulative language as well. And with the Earthdammar being this childlike creature with its sort of personality that is displayed so far, Mayuda should be the perfect person to persuade it, just like we saw him do in telling the Earthdammar that Yugioh just wants to meet it so that it can have as much fun as it likes throughout the entire universe. When actually, we know exactly what Yugioh really wants the Earthdammar for. The more interesting thing about this sort of whole segment with the Earthdammar, though, was the detour it was talking about. Where and what is it leading us to? Hopefully somewhere fun and full of lore, but either way, I'm excited to see what happens next, because we know that everyone's going to have to meet up at some point. And when that happens, things are going to get spicy. Almost as spicy as people arguing and confused about how Yumu and Yuhi can breathe in space when flying through using the Bulgarian wings. And my answer to that is the wings give them the ability to breathe in space. Because logic, anime, it happens. Plus, when we see them breaking through the ship, it does create like a force field around them. So maybe it's just doing that, but not visually because they want to look cool with the wings while they're flying. You get what I mean. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode. There's not much else to say. I really like the expansion and the world building aspect of this episode, and we did learn a bit more while the plot moves forward at a fast yet entertaining pace. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you have, hit that like button, comment your thoughts down below, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Alligator, matane. Goodbye.